Hello, welcome to Player 2 Start Podcast. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are. Well, not really good night because we're not signing off. We're just welcoming you right now. I'm your host, Jalk. Along with me are my co-host, Sakurai and Kat. And today we'll be talking about games, the happening, stuff that's in the news, Unity, Starfield, Baldur's Gate 3, a bunch of stuff. So, we'll get right into it, and I will let my hosts begin the conversation. Go right ahead.
So, I wanted to ask you guys, what have you guys been up to recently? Because it's been about a month since our last episode, and everybody wants to know what we're doing. So, Chuck, what have you been doing since you introduced us?
Since you last ranted about Baldur's Gate for 30 minutes.
Okay. So, you know how I played Baldur's Gate 3 and I finished it. I started my second run, but by the time I started, then I was like, you know what? Maybe I should take a little break from the game. I have not gone back to it after like about 150 hours. I finished my first playthrough. I started my, the dark side quest, but I stopped in the first Act 1. Then I haven't played it since. Then I started playing DCS. You know how like DCS, I started playing my planes. Waited till Starfield came out. Pre-ordered it so I could play it beforehand. I usually don't pre-order game, but it's a Bethesda game, and I'm a Bethesda fanboy since the Morrowind days. Oblivion, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, freaking Fallout series, everything. But regardless, I played Starfield. I enjoyed it. I like it. And I know we're going to talk a lot about it because all three of us have been playing it. I already have 150 hours in the game. And it's not even been a month.
That's impressive.
I have beat the game 10 times, which is new game plus 10, which is...
You don't half-ass, do you?
No,
full on.
I went full on. Then I did the min-max thing, and kind of regret my decision, kind of not regret my decision, but we'll get right into it. So it's been Baldur's Gate, DCS, Starfield, DCS, pretty much the whole shebang, and then whatever games we played together at times. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
You know what else he got? And
what?
We're gonna play. We're gonna show some clips on this. Is Demonologist?
I have that too. We should play the three of us, but that will be. Oh gosh, I'm already scared. I'm already scared just thinking about it. And I won't leave whatever area that feels safe to me. So.
Oh gosh, it's so fun because Jock hates scary games like that.
Yeah,
and we get into him. So
But Halloween's coming up, so we have to do this.
Oh yeah,
we've got to do this.
Oh my God.
We could get some clips for the tiki-taki.
Listen, as much as I hate horror games, I don't like jump scares, okay? This is from when I was a kid. Somebody showed me The Exorcist, okay? The original Exorcist, and with the girl does the whole thing, on all fours, like backwards, like comes down the stairs. I'm like,
yeah.
Let's pardon my language. Left an impression in my mind, right? So I'm not a big scary games kind of guy. I don't mind zombies. I don't mind all of that. I know Sakurai is scared of zombies.
I don't like
he doesn't do zombies. I don't do scary horror stuff. And the first time they gave me Phasmophobia. Oh, you've received a Steam gift. And now I look in.
And then you're like, God dang it.
One of my friends, here you go. A copy of Demonologist. I don't want to play it. I'm not.
You're playing it, buddy.
You're having to thank them through gritted teeth. Thanks, guys.
Anyway, enough of me. Go ahead.
All right.
How about
you? So I'll say I've been playing mostly Starfield. I got a little over 90 something hours into it. Mm-hmm. So I actually got the game with a card I bought. So I bought an AMD card on a secondary build, and as long as you have the card installed to your motherboard, you can get a code, and I got like the premium edition of Starfield for that.
Nice.
So I was waiting on the code. They came out. They gave it to me. I booted it up. With the premium edition, I think you got like a few days before everybody else.
Yeah, you could play it on the first instead of the official release date of the 6th, along with a couple of skins that you could throw.
And so it was great, man. I really liked the game. We'll talk about it in more detail. Other than that, just living life, lots of martial arts again, and yeah, not too much going on in the gaming world for me. I think I've been kind of no-lifing it into Starfield, and a lot of Jack games actually.
I can tell you there's one thing about you that's different in this episode recording than last time, and it's your hair, because it looks fantastic. It looks so good like that. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the original plan was to just grow it, and then it's so hot, as you guys know, all over the south of the United States.
We're all in hot states.
So I just shaved the sides. It's just too hot to have.
Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, do it.
No, I could not pull that off.
Kat, what have you been up to recently, especially with games?
So I'm sure you guys can probably guess that I've had a bunch of squirrel moments with games, just like every other part of my life. So I've been playing the Ocarina of Time on the Switch, which I had planned to finish because I want to play Majora's Mask. I'm maybe like 40% of the way through that. I've still been playing a lot of BattleBit and then also Starfield. I probably only have like 10 hours in Starfield. I downloaded the Xbox Game Pass so that I could play it, and also hoping that it'll motivate me to play a lot of other games that come out new, because so many new games will come out and be on the Xbox Game
You know
Pass.
what? I think a lot of people got the Game Pass just to play like Starfield.
Oh yeah, I bet
that happens with a lot of new games. Like new games, they get Game Pass. They pay for like maybe 3 months of Game Pass, and then just let it drop off after the dump.
Yeah. Or from what I hear, you can do it for $1 for a while or something. I don't know. I didn't have that deal.
$1 and then $10 a month. I'm not a big fan. And the reason I say that is games, specifically the ones I like, right? I want to own them.
Right.
Like, I have started modding my Starfield. Like, Starfield, if we want to get into it, right? The UI is okay. The inventory management is lackluster at best. Like, it's horrendous. Like, I'm sorry, Bethesda, you could have done a significantly better job. But the good thing is the modding community for Bethesda games is strong. Like, if you just go to one of the most used mod sites, right? Skyrim has billions of downloads, like Skyrim Special Edition, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, so on and so forth. All Bethesda games have billions and billions of downloads, right? Billions and billions. But you know what I mean. Billions. Yeah, that's right there. But so same with Fallout, right? Already got like over 16 million downloads on their mods that are coming out. Mods have already come out. Like, it's not even been a month since the game's been out officially. And there's already, Sky UI inventory management mod. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I apologize. But I downloaded that mod with the Starfield script extender, and that has made an immense difference. Like, each weapon will have values on DPS, it will hold values, it's more compact, makes it significantly better on all your inventory management, right? There are a few mods that are already up. I'm not going heavy in mods, but I'm just getting like those essential mods that are, are quality of life and make small little changes in your game that make a significant impact. Like, when you hit tab, the delay, the delay mitigation, things like that I have gotten in Starfield that make the game, for me personally, more attractive.
Those are the mods that I've been kind of eyeing to get.
I've been telling you.
I haven't even seen most of these. Where are these hiding?
So I'll go on ahead. I don't want to name the website because everybody probably knows what website I'm talking about, but I will go on ahead when we're offline. I got you. I'll send you the link on how to.
No, I'm a terrible nerd.
Yeah. So there's one downside though. A lot of times when these mods are made, they're made Steam compliant. So I don't know how that is gonna work with the Xbox Game Pass version, because I don't know if it syncs together, because some mods, it does say that it's compatible with both Steam Edition and Xbox Game Pass, but some are not. So you manually have to download them and install them instead of using like a mod organizer or mod manager for these mods. So,
well, I think for me, I don't know if I would even want to mess with mods until I get used to the mechanics of the game, because I think that's what I'm struggling with the most. I haven't played a Bethesda game before, which is surprising because so many on their list have been recommended to me by people and I've been told that I would like them, but I haven't played any of them yet. And so for me, it's just I'm stuck just kind of figuring out as I go how to navigate through all the different interfaces and the different menus, and some of it seems a little bit redundant to me as I'm like going in and out of the inventories. And I just learned today that whenever I am or I haven't done it yet, but I was told that whenever I'm actually at a vending machine selling stuff, that I can sell stuff from my ship's compartment. Yes. I didn't know that. And so I was thinking that I had to go get stuff, go back. I didn't even, and then like, but I'm like maybe 6-7 hours in, so I'm very new to the game. But don't worry, nothing's gonna spoil it for me. I actually have been looking up gameplay because I'm like, something doesn't seem right. This cannot be this difficult for me. The map cannot be this difficult for me. But yeah, that's my struggle with it so far, is just I feel like there are too many different menu options to do certain things. I'm like, it shouldn't be, it just shouldn't be so much. Like, to leave the seat or leave the ship, it should just to have a little cinematic, just to have a like 10-second cinematic to, I don't know.
That like annoys me. Like when you get up, you're up from the pilot seat, and he's standing up, and he like takes his last time. I'm like, guys, we are in the middle of a firefight, and I accidentally hit that button. And you need to get your ass back in that chair.
Get back in the seat. Sit the down.
We're gonna be beeping a lot in this episode.
But I do love the game so far. I'm really glad that I got it. I kind of hated that I was a little bit late to it. I mean, you guys, Zach, you probably were already like 30 hours in by the time I got it. I think this one would have been a good one for the three of us to know life together. Yeah. But next time.
As far as the mod support, I think Bethesda said that in early next year is when they're going to add in the full mod support for the mod community. And I think once that happens, it's going to be amazing, just like all the modders for Skyrim and all the other Elder Scrolls games that had lots of mods,
Well, the creator kit is going to come out next year. But Bethesda games have always been very, very approachable for modification from day one, to be honest. Like, so they do bring out the creator kit after the game has been released, but we're not expecting that, like you said, till early next year. But I'll tell you one thing, right? So before this game came out, and how I told you how Larian, when they introduced Baldur's Gate 3, and Baldur's Gate 3 is like, even today, I will tell you this, in comparison to Starfield, it is the game of the year, in my opinion, right? Even compared to Starfield, it's significantly better. The depth, for me, the depth of the game matters significantly, especially if it's a story-driven game like Starfield, Starfield is more story-driven and exploration and all that, and people have been comparing it to, Elite Dangerous, which is one of the most, previously popular, not anymore, space sims, so on and so forth, but we did not expect that kind of similarity that you would have in Elite or Star Citizen to Starfield when it comes to space sim, and similarly nothing in comparison to Baldur's Gate 3. Like, even right now, before we started recording, I was looking at the number of players that are active right now playing either of those games, right? If I want to, compare apples to apples in terms of player activity. Baldur's Gate 3, last episode when we recorded, had 850,000 plus people?
Something like that.
There are 350,000 people playing the game as of about, 30 minutes ago, right? And there were only 150,000 people on Starfield, and these are Steam numbers. So I can pick these numbers up. We can post them in the episode so you can see for yourself. You can even you can click on the community hub, and it will tell you how many players are active playing a certain game. So it's still, to this day, Baldur's Gate is more popular than Starfield, and in a way, I think Baldur's Gate 3 kind of ruined certain aspects of Starfield for me in a good way. Okay, like I said, everybody will have to step up to the plate of the depth that Larian has introduced for Baldur's Gate 3. The character depth, the companion depth. That's not the same in Starfield. You've got your 4 companions, the depth is there. Bethesda standards, I would have liked to see more, but I'm pretty sure, just like Skyrim, when there were so many following characters added with voiced companions. Like people actually voiced characters.
Yeah.
And made significantly story-rich characters. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that. And after being modded, the game is gonna become significantly better than what it is today. Baldur's Gate was already great without the mod support, but Baldur's Gate already has a lot more mods than Starfield that people are playing with that make the game even better. They're anywhere from makeup mods to anything, to clothing mods, so on and so forth, and game mods. You name it, they're already out. Similar with Starfield. But the comparison, if I were to make, I would still say, if I were to make a judgment call like today, to say like, because we're in quarter 3 right now,
right?
Even up till quarter 4, end of the year, which game is the best? If it's Starfield when it comes to RPGs, or CRPGs like Baldur's Gate 3, I would still say Baldur's Gate 3 is by far significantly superior to Starfield in comparison.
Now, previously you had said it's game of the decade.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I still stand by that statement.
Really?
Well, let me ask you this, because I've heard a lot of people comparing Starfield to No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So what are your thoughts on that? I tried to play No Man's Sky 2 and I did like it. Now I got super nauseous playing that game, way worse than Starfield has done so far, which thankfully, thanks to Sack and your wizardry tricks, I think I'm okay now. I'm not nauseous anymore, but No Man's Sky was terrible for me. But as far as a comparison, what do you think?
Well, Zach, do you have any input on that? I didn't really play No Man's Sky. When it first came out, it didn't really have that great rave review, so I never picked it up. And I know it got significantly better later on when the developer got into it, and now it's a more popular game, but I've not played it, so
I don't have like that many hours into it, to be honest with you. I think the thing that No Man's Sky has over Starfield, and I've heard this complaint a lot from Starfield players, is that when you're entering an atmosphere, it's in Starfield, you have to go through a menu. And I think that puts off a lot of people that, it like, oh, I want to be able to fly into the atmosphere and land and do all that. I get that. I think that's one thing that No Man's Sky has over Starfield, to be honest with you. Like those kind of and not like in Starfield, it's automated through land here, press X, hold it down, and you land. It's like you don't actually physically do it yourself.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the.
Yeah, but they're completely.
No, Arlon have said specifically him. He said that it kills the game for him. Like it's not immersive enough for him.
I disagree. The reason I say that is because No Man's Sky is a completely different game. No Man's Sky is not really a companion-driven, story-driven. Then again, I may be wrong here. I've not played No Man's Sky, but it's not a Bethesda game. Bethesda games are based on one main storyline and significant chunk of side quests and then mini quests and so on and so forth. So Bethesda games are like that. They're conversation based, persuasion based, and I'll get to the persuasion part later because I really don't like the dialogue when it comes to the persuasion skill in Sky.
The skill, no, but hear me out though. Like I guess for me, I'm just like I'm used to the Bethesda format. That formula of you can fast travel anywhere. You know what I mean? As long as you don't have over your weight, carry weight limit. But like that fast travel system, I was always used to it. And so coming into Starfield, it didn't feel bad for me. And on the opposing argument side, if you were to have to fly into each atmosphere, I think it would bog down the game a lot.
Yes, it would.
And not
probably.
graphically. I'm talking about it would bog down the player's feeling of, oh, I have to land this, and if it's tough to land it, you'd have to do this whole thing. It would just take a long time. And I think most players would just opt in for fast traveling anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think in the end, most players just want fast travel.
You want to play a game like that, you can play Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen, or No Man's Sky. Like if you
that's more of like a simulator.
That's more of a sim kind of deal. Yeah, but
I think that's how I feel about it. I feel like as long as it's Skyrim in space, I'm cool with it. That's what I signed up for. That's what I want. and I like it. That's what it is.
So since you both have played so many Bethesda games, if I were to play another game by them, what would you recommend?
Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout
New Vegas, in my opinion, is that depends, right? If you place the Elder Scrolls series or the Fallout series, the best series is Fallout New Vegas. Any diehard Fallout fan will tell you Fallout New Vegas is the best. Fallout 4 was okay. Fallout 3 was not bad at all. It was pretty good. But Fallout New Vegas is by far, one of the best story-driven Bethesda games. Elder Scrolls side, they've all been great. Morrowind was great. Oblivion was great. Skyrim was great. And they're working for Elder Scrolls 6 right now. I don't know when it's going to come out. But there are some documents that
26
we're talking about
next
month,
year. Really?
No, 26, 2026.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2026, yeah. But the bar is set high for Bethesda, so hopefully they keep delivering what they're delivering. I never played Fallout 76 because I think, in my opinion, it was trash. I watched a bunch of gameplay. I tried to get into it, but I don't think Bethesda is into the multiplayer scenario. They're more of a single player game kind of deal, and I think they should stick to that because that's what their strong suit is. That's all opinion, but that's as a fan, I'm telling you, Bethesda, you excel at making single player games. Don't. Yeah.
To be the devil's advocate on Jalk's side, so if he's recommending a Fallout series, I will recommend Skyrim for you because it's their newest Elder Scrolls series title.
Okay. I'll have to look into those and maybe try one.
It's basically Starfield. Since you played Starfield, it's basically Starfield, but you play as a fantasy realm and you're not flying.
Hey, you want guns or bows and arrows?
No, I don't. Oh, well, I love.
You want magic?
Bows.
Oh, you want a rocket launcher?
I also like magic. Maybe I'll have to play both.
You want superpowers?
Yes.
Then you play Skyrim. Yeah.
Well, as far as Starfield, since we're on the topic of Starfield, in my opinion, Starfield is a great game, and I think most people should pick it up. If you're at all interested in Skyrim, or if you're all interested in the Elder Scrolls series, it's a great game to have. And if you're at all interested in the sci-fi games, it's a great game to have.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a story-driven type of experience where you get to choose the stories that you want to go into. You can totally skip quests.
Yeah.
You can totally do whatever you want. I like it. Yeah. There are a lot of criticisms for sure, just like any game. Everybody criticizes every game. So there are some fair criticisms.
Hey, listen, if I'm
but you know what you're talking about, and it's if
I'm gonna pay for
give up a
something,
chance.
I have the right to critique it, right? But
That's
I'm gonna
very
critique things that can be made better, right? I'm gonna say my last piece on Starfield because I think we've been talking about Starfield for a little bit, right? So the last thing I was talking about the persuasion skill, right? They could have made certain dialogue better, and I follow a bunch of Reddit on different games that I play, and this is a popular opinion between people as well. The persuasion skill, the dialogue, okay, you want to go get something, right? And then you get in a dialogue with a person, you're like, hey man, I want this thing you got. No, I can't do that. What are you out of mind? But would it be cool that I could have it? You make sense, so give it to me. You know what, you're right, here you go. It's like, come on, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good
fair enough.
Of persuasion, but as you level up persuasion, that's what it is. Like you can just say any, and you get it.
You have a 50% chance of the critical roll, and you get it immediately. But at the same time, I wanted it to be more. If I need something from this person, right? Make a side quest. Go to
a little cat and mouse.
Find some dirt on them, right? So you can blackmail them. Something like that you could use to influence that person's decision of giving you said item. There's bribery, you can bribe a person, but in general, there's intimidation as well. You can scare a person, but persuasion should have things related to blackmail, things like that makes the dialogue more immersive and better. This is my opinion.
I get that, but I think they were going for like a Jedi thing where like these are not the
these are not
the drugs you're looking for, like that kind of thing. You know, that's what they were going for. I think that's what I think.
I don't know, man. Anyway, that's my final gripe. I love the game. That's hence the reason I have 150 plus hours in the game, and I'm still playing it even after New Game 10. I've now started everything all over again. I'm enjoying the game, but I want to play it slow because I want to see what mods are coming in so I can enjoy the game. If not, then when I start a completely brand new fresh playthrough, then I'm going to use an extensive use of mods, but that's months from now. But that's my last.
I'm at 90 something hours, and I foresee myself putting 300 into this game. Like
very nice.
That's easy.
I think easily I can put 300 into this game because I'm going to take it slow. I'm not even done with the main quest. I know I could do it like in an hour, but I don't want to. I want to do everything slow. I take up every quest I see, and because most of the time the quests are, you know, even the small quests are like, you know, there's some story.
There are a lot of activity quests.
Right.
Yeah, they're not like fetch me 5 things of this. Most of them are not like that. There are some of those, but it's 90% it's not the case, I think, in my opinion. You know, at least there's like some kind of backstory. My gripe with Starfield, and it's a small gripe, but like when you get on the planet and you have to like go travel, I wish there was like, you know, like a hoverboard, or a little rover.
Bro, they're already talking about mechs.
Something.
Bro, they're already talking about mechs, man. People are talking about mechs. People are talking about vehicles. People are already talking about modding all those things in. Just give it time, man.
Yeah.
Modding community
I didn't even
strong.
think of that.
So that's my biggest thing, because I like to go through all the procedurally generated points, which is another thing about this game, is that like the points of interest that are generated, they're like randomly generated. They're not like all the same. Even though some of them are predictably like kind of the same, but like AI like kind of builds them as you come up to. It's pretty neat.
Some of them are very similar though.
I agree. Most of them do have very similar.
Yeah, they're very similar. But yeah, it's some variation.
Regardless, it's still cool that it's like generated. You know, I think that's amazing in itself. How have you been enjoying the game so far as somebody that's like fairly new to the game, like under 10 hours or around 10, as you said?
I like it a lot. I will say that I learned today that this is a game that I will enjoy more if I'm not in a voice channel with other people, because you really do. I do want to follow the story, and I want to hear and just be able to kind of focus a little bit. So this will definitely be a solo game for me going forward, I think, or just a deafened in a voice channel game. I was getting really nauseous at first. The movement, I don't know what was up with that. Either the tricks you told me helped, or I just got used to it. But I really like it. I think that graphically, it's really nice. It's fun.
It is.
I have been kind of like bypassing some of those points of interest. So now I'm curious and want to check out the points of interest, like you said. And, I am still trying to figure out the skill tree. I mean, it's straightforward, but I'm trying to figure out what skills I should focus most on. And I've found the research table, and I'm trying to figure out how to do all that stuff. So I'm still in the what am I doing mode.
Very interesting.
I definitely think this could be a game that you could easily put 300 hours into. And I don't want to rush through the main quest. I want to try to do as many side quests as I can. I am running as a diplomat. Nice. So I think so far it's been pretty interesting. I like it. I'm really glad I got the Game Pass for it.
Taco Slayer also did diplomat. I chose Bounty Hunter.
Did you?
I was thinking, you know, I was going to be Mandalorian or something. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, Bounty Hunter, I want to do that.
There's a lot of Mandalorian armor already out.
I saw that. That's pretty dope, though. That's freaking awesome.
Cool. But I want an actual functioning one, not just a reskin of the helmet.
I want it. For anybody that was wondering about if they get motion sickness in this game, I told Kat to increase the field of vision to 100, turn off motion blur and film grain, and then use an upscaler, which is like DLSS or something, to get the max frames. And that seemed to help her out a lot, at least more than it was at first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it was... It was the flying a little bit, but it was mostly, for some reason, going in and out of the rooms. Whenever I was outside of a room, I would be in like third person all the way field of view out, and then I would go in the room and it would just zoom in so much that I don't know, that transition really messed with me. And just I'm very sensitive though. I definitely had to take Dramamine for VR. So
Ouch.
just but yeah, I love it. And
so I think from player 2 start, pretty much we're all in agreement that this is a good game to pick up. I think it would be a good game for most players, as long as they are interested in this kind of game in the first place. They'll definitely like this. And it's nothing new. Like, the format's nothing new. Bethesda's been making the same type of game forever, and I think it's just gotten better. They manipulated the format to just get better and better, but it's nothing new. It's nothing like cutting edge. The only thing I would say is the procedurally generated stuff is pretty cool, and I hope they add that more into the future games.
All right, I think we should move on from Starfield, because the episode is not only about Starfield. We will be reading some of your YouTube comments.
Yeah, we kind of like skipped over that.
Let's look at some.
So our last episode was about celebrities in video games, and our first comment says, "Great episode. What I think will happen soon is video game developers will start integrating AI into their games so that players can use their own voice for their characters. There's already AI that mimics your voice." That was sent by Yegros86. And I think that would be a really cool idea if you can, like, you know how when you set up text to talk or something like that, or something like this, and you have to like read a sentence, so it kind of like detects what your intonations are and stuff. I think you could technically do that. I've just never seen it happen before.
It's gonna be a long time before we see that in practice, man.
It'd be cool if I could use your voice in my game. I would clip so many funny moments. Yeah, that'd be hilarious, especially your screams, because your screams are hilarious.
Look at what Jalk's saying right now and just make him say all this crazy stuff.
That right there is probably why it'll be a little bit before something like that rolls out.
I remember we were talking about like maybe using like a celebrity's voice, like Keanu Reeves or something like that. I think those are really cool ideas. Don't know where that is on the table, but I like the idea. The next comment is from an old friend, Captain Slimfit. He says, "Sakurai is a baller, so thank you, sir. I love you."
I object. No, I'm just kidding.
Another one is from Arlon. He was talking about the Rockstar game called Bully, and I remember I was complaining that as soon as I started the game up, there was a point in the game where it just crashes. It just won't, and I get up to that one point, and apparently it's some kind of error that they know about, but they never fix because it's such an old game. And he wrote, "Playing old Rockstar games is a pain because of old DRM software that might not be available anymore." And you know, it's totally right. I think if it's on Steam, that they should at least fix it to where it's playable on.
I think they should invest in a Windows 95 PC.
Right? He also mentioned that he doesn't care about celebrities in games. If a game leans on too much on a celebrity being in it, I kind of lose interest in the game. And okay, I see where he's going with that.
Yeah, same.
I think that's a good and fair argument that, like, if your game is leaning too heavily on the celebrity to... Did I say celebrity? Celebrity. Yeah. if they lean too much on the celebrity to sell the game, then your game is probably not great. You know, that's
it's like just jumping on the hype train. Like,
listen, it's like that game with Chuck Norris that didn't take off, right?
Right.
They so much, but nobody paid attention. But at the same time, you have CD Projekt Red, which has really good titles under its belt, like especially if you look in the recent past, was The Witcher 3, which they changed the engine, they made the game magnificent, and then Cyberpunk was initially not that great because of the graphical requirement, and nobody was able to get, I'm not getting 150 frames. But then again, now people are able to play this game significantly better, which reminds me, the new Cyberpunk DLC, Phantom Liberty, comes out tomorrow, but people have already started playing it because they pre-purchased it and they have been playing it, and I've seen good reviews about it. They did add another celebrity named Idris Elba, who's out of the UK, has done a lot of acting in Hollywood.
Like him a lot.
He's a great actor. I've seen some of his British shows in which he plays a detective, which I cannot remember the name of from the top of my head. He also played Lupin, which is a French private eye kind of deal. But yeah, no, he was a criminal or a thief or something. I'm forgetting. Pardon me. But so Idris Elba is really popular when it comes to the UK, in the British circles, and now he's pretty popular in Hollywood as well. So they took him as an additional on top of Keanu, who made an appearance back in Phantom Liberty, and you play as V as well. Again. They added a new celebrity to the game, and I've already seen people talking good things about it. Plus, Cyberpunk is on sale. If you're watching today, it is 40% off the base game. But if you buy the base game and Phantom Liberty, I think you still get like about a 30% discount. So if you're looking for Cyberpunk for a while, is this the right time to pick it up to play the game? It's an amazing game. Amazing mechanics, amazing guns. Overall,
I'm gonna have to do a whole new playthrough when I get the DLC.
That would be the same for me.
I've never played it. I don't really know much at all about that game. I've just watched a few streamers play a little bit of it. I know. I don't know if I've watched you play any of it or not. That's what happens is I watch you play a game, and I'm like, ooh. After like 10 hours, I'm like, all right, I think I want to get it. I'm copying you.
Yeah, but so Cyberpunk is coming out. Well, Cyberpunk is already out, but the DLC comes out tomorrow, which is the 25th. We are recording today on a Sunday, but that comes out. Other than that, if we were talking about, should we talk about the rest of the games that are just a couple of games that are coming out or have already come out?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I talked about this, I think, in Q2, that Assassin's Creed, the new game, comes out this year. So Mirage Assassin's Creed is coming out October 5th, yes. That goes back, and it's based in Baghdad, so it's going to go back in time before Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But a lot of time, so I've already seen some critique of the game even before it's been released, right? So I saw a couple of YouTube videos, but this is just the opinion of those people. I'm just repeating what they said, right? So what Ubisoft said, they're going to go back to the bare bone basics of how Assassin's Creed used to be when it first came out, with Altair and the basic combat mechanics and everything, and none of this fancy stuff in which you like teleport to another person, stab them in the chest, teleport to the next person, stab them in the chest, so on and so forth. So they said none of that is going to be there. This is going to go back to the basics of combat and fun. But a few things that people have released on different shorts, YouTube, Instagram, so on and so forth, from what I've seen, the gameplay is still in that aspect of you having these weird superpowers as an assassin, which if they still keep that up, that's the gripe that people had, that you're an assassin. You're not, you're not Superman, that you can just zap from one place to another. Like, this is in the olden days. You can't just like zap here and there, like having superpowers. But then again, that remains to be seen once the game then we'll be able to pass better judgment on it. The last game that I want to discuss that just came out is Payday 3. I played Payday 2 quite a bit. I was a big fan of the game. Payday 3 is out now. People that are old Payday fans are enjoying it. People that are new to the game are not enjoying it. A lot of older people are also not enjoying it that came from Payday 2, and the reviews are, as of now, still mostly negative. 21,856 reviews.
Wow. What are people saying?
There's no single player mode. There used to be in Payday 2. You could stay offline. You can play with the AI. You can do the heists, learn the game yourself. There's only online mode. There's no single player mode, which is sad because I personally in Payday 2 would play the heist by myself, get to understand what the heist is like before I played it on overkill or insane difficulty with my friends. to do a heist, get maximum, but you get an idea of how the layout is. But now you're forced to play with people, which I don't like the concept, right? If you don't know the people you're playing with, you don't have a fun time. Payday is the kind of game I would not play with randoms. I would rather play with friends. People have not happy. The UI is clunky. The main menu is weird. The matchmaking is weird. So people are saying that this game is not.
It's not ready.
They still feel it's like an early access game. So they still feel like it's an early access game. So I'll stop talking about Payday 3 there because it's not a topic that we should discuss for a long time. Maybe
I talked to a guy on our Discord last night, and he was saying that basically just the matchmaking is terrible.
Yeah,
really?
He likes the game, but he just thinks like, man, the matchmaking sucks. This is not. It's not.
And he played Payday 2, and
he did not. He was new to the franchise, so like
Gotcha.
he picked up Payday 3 because he thought maybe everybody else would play it.
Yeah.
And
I think I'll get Payday 2.
like the game. Well, I mean, Payday 2.
I would play Payday 2. I have it installed the other day. I just wanted to play it, and I played with a few friends the other day, and I actually had a really, really fun time. So if you decide to get into Payday 2, I'll play with you. Payday 2.
Okay, and then maybe they'll fix Payday 3, and then after Payday 2, it'll be something to look forward to.
To play Payday 3, but people are still playing Payday 2.
That will be a sign for them for sure.
The comments on the Steam store for the negative reviews, they're always funny to read. One says, "A real heist was on our wallets," and the game.
Oh my god, I love it! I love that comment.
I like watching, going through the comment section sometimes.
That's cool, right? That the new Mortal Kombat is out. Positive reviews, mostly positive. People are enjoying it. I've played not all the Mortal Kombats because I lost count on how many Mortal Kombats have been out. Mortal Kombat 10, and now it's back to Mortal Kombat 1. I think it's like Mortal Kombat always does that. They go from 1 to 5, then they're like back to 1. Back to 1. It's Mortal Kombat 1 again.
Revamp it. I haven't played a Mortal Kombat game since 1990.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't played since like N64.
It's been a long time.
I played Mortal Kombat 9 last on my PlayStation. I think it was 9. I think I still have it. I mean, that's the last, and same with Street Fighter. Like the last Street Fighter I got was on the PlayStation a while back. So those were the last fighting games that I got. But I haven't
more in arcades.
In arcades.
I used to go to arcades as a kid to play the fighting games, King of Fighters, all those games. Man, good old days. But anyway,
now we're adults and we go to arcade bars.
I just don't feel like I'm qualified to talk about fighting games because I don't really play them. And I know like there's a whole arena of people who play fighting games and like they're in tournaments and stuff. I think it's cool. It's just not my kind of game.
Yeah, not my favorite.
So it just reminds me of my childhood basically because I like playing Mortal Kombat when I was a kid, but no longer.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea anymore. As much as I enjoyed it playing with my cousins and with my friends fighting games as a kid, it's not my cup of tea anymore. I enjoy more story-driven games more than anything now. Even though the new Mortal Kombat games are actually, if you play the story mode, are very story-driven. Unless you go talk to Sub-Zero, then you go talk to Scorpion, but so on and so forth.
That would be pretty. Yeah,
it is like that now. So it is pretty cool. But yes, those are the games that I wanted to talk about today.
There's one subject I wanted to touch on before we go is the whole Unity scandal. I think everybody pretty much knows about it, but if you don't know, Unity is a game engine, and they wanted to switch their model of pricing from a flat fee, which is paid like yearly, to a fee per install of the game. So it would be like every time somebody installs the game, they would have to pay Unity like 20 cents, up to 20 cents, or it was like on a pay scale or something. If somebody was really mad at the developer, they could technically make a script that uninstalls and reinstalls and reinstalls and reinstalls and reinstalls over and over and over again, and it would charge the developer up to 20 cents each install. And
that's crazy.
The developers are like, are you crazy? Like, because that's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's only going to affect the big companies or the people that are making millions of dollars. And then so they keep revising what they said. And I think they're doing this basically because Unity's never been in the profit end of their financial. They've never made a lot of profit or any profit, basically. And so they're looking for ways to make more profit. But the problem is that they sold this, agreement between them and developers that said, hey, we're going to make this a flat fee for you to use our program. And sometimes that fee is free. If you're not you're just using it for a very small thing or personal use, it's free.
Yeah.
So to change it to something else like this, which is more in line, so they had changed their. So now they're backtracking to where it only works if you're, if you're made like $1 million, which is not that hard to do, but in selling games. But if you made $1 million or more, then they start doing this fee, which is 4%, and that's to go against Unreal's 5% royalty free, basically, right? So they're trying to make theirs more like Unreal, which is hypocritical because the president of Unity, or not the president, the CEO of Unity, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
His name is CEO.
Mr. President.
The president. He's gone on record of saying, hey, back in 2015 or 16, saying, hey, we will never do something like that. We will never try to nickel and dime you. And now he's saying it now, hey, we should nickel and dime you, right? So he's made a complete 180 on this topic. Yeah. He's saying, hey, I'll never do this.
Now that the economy is kind of, rough on everyone.
I guess that sometimes they have to backtrack. I mean, I don't know a lot about Unity's business practices, but, you could have approached this in a more neutral manner that, hey, companies, we're having this issue in which we're unable to generate any profit. We would like to increase our fee by like 5%, 10%. You do financial analysis and you figure out what would keep you afloat and put some money in your pocket. And you go from there instead of coming out with something that is so unprecedented that all video game developers are like, oh, really? We're going to play this game, That's not happening. Right. So, I understand. And I know the backlash is real. And with inflation and everything, I understand why they were trying to do it as well. But at the same time,
they had promised the devs that, hey, we're not going to be like Unreal Engine. We're going to keep these flat fees for you. And then now it's like you're going over and beyond. You're nickel and diming. Like Unreal Engine doesn't even charge that per install kind of fee. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Yeah.
I don't understand why they would go in that direction because it's totally the opposite of what they had promised before, because the developers had said, okay, I enter into this contract with you under these terms. Now, were they looking to get that retroactively installed? Like, so a game from like 10, 20 years ago that does installs, are they going to try to charge them fees now?
Yeah.
That company might not even be in business right now.
Yep.
Right.
No, I completely understand. Yeah, this is something that I think we will be following the story to see how it develops. And if Unity backtracks to where it was and says we made a mistake and then heads roll and somebody gets fired.
Yeah, so the CEO's name is John Riccitiello. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But he also, right before this was announced a few weeks ago, had sold 50,000 shares, or execs sold 50,000 shares in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that sounds super illegal. Insider trading stuff. I think they should crack down on that.
Yeah.
The CEO boss, John Riccitiello, God, I can't pronounce that name. He was also the CEO EA Games. Back when the company was not financially doing well, and that's how he resigned from EA Games. And he also, back in 2006, there was also concern about executives selling stocks during things in EA Games, and all of a sudden they would sell a lot of stocks before things happened. So I think this is something that they're just gonna have to. The exchange commission is just gonna have to investigate for themselves, because this doesn't look like it's something new, especially with this this gentleman, John Ricciatelli. I think that's they're gonna have to look into that. I think it's kind of a, excuse my French, but I think it's kind of a douchebag move by him. He doesn't seem like he's really caring about what's going on here. I think he's just more in it for the business end.
No, I completely understand, but that's something I think we should follow up on. Hopefully Unity finds the right direction and fixes this mistake that they're making. And I'm not no business manager, no Security and Exchange Commission expert or anything of that sort, but I will say that when it looks wrong, it is wrong, and hopefully you all fix it, and we could go back to the way the things were. And if you gotta fire somebody, fire somebody.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the devs now are like looking at other platforms.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Why would you trust somebody who just stabbed you in the back immediately, right?
Yeah.
But I think that is all that we have, right? Today.
Yep, that's all we had to talk about.
We talked about Starfield. We talked about Baldur's Gate, my favorite game of the year, of the decade. We talked about Assassin's Creed, Payday, bunch of other games, comparison with Star Citizen, No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous, so on and so forth. But alas, we're coming to an end. Thank you so much for your comments. We look forward to reading them again. Tell us what you think about Starfield. Tell us what you think about the fiasco at Unity. And Sakurai Q, you're going to tell them our email address. Don't forget to join our Discord.
Player2startpodcast@gmail.com. Yes, please don't forget to join our Discord. I'll put another link up in the video description or audio description. We are looking to change things around a little bit, and we are having a blast over there. So please join us.
And follow our Tiki Talks, as Kat says.
Yes. Follow the
our Tiki Talks have been blown up. So yeah, please follow us.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thanks. Bye. Good. We're starting recording now.
Check.
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 Check. Yeah. We should definitely clip that.
All right.